Well, hello there. It's that time again. Yes, it is. It's rolled around. It is time for our weekly tarot and astrology video blog. And today's date is the 19th of November of 2017. We have some interesting cards this week, some interesting stuff with astrology, and of course, Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, coming up for those of you in the United States. So do stay tuned. This will be a good ride. Okay, as usual, I'm going to pull up 3 major arcana cards from the Tarot de Marseille. This is an old tarot. This is an 18th century style deck that is pre-occulted, which means it doesn't have Kabbalah, astrology, a lot of extraneous stuff attached to it. It doesn't claim to be an occult system. It's simply a straightforward visual system, okay? And the cards do have their individual forms and functions, as we'll see, and as you see every week if you follow this. And it makes for what I have found to be a very clear and effective reading. So in a moment, these 3 cards will come up on the screen, and they are going to cover my face. The cards for this week are Temperance, the Pope or Hierophant, and the Devil. Now, of course, Temperance is that angel mixing those 2 vases together, seems to be focused on her task, facing towards the left, keeping things in balance, keeping things flowing. Now, the Pope or Hierophant has got his back turned to her. He's not looking at flow. He's not looking necessarily at balance. He's more into projecting his ideas. He has at his feet 2, which call acolytes or novitiates or whatever, novices that are at his feet, listening to every word that he says. But the next card, the Devil, also has 2 people in it that are chained to the Devil. And also, the Devil is holding something that looks like a perverted form of the scepter that the Hierophant is holding. So, what does that mean, Bob? What are we saying here? Well, I think it's important that we maintain our balance and our focus this week. It's so easy to get caught up in many different things, especially with the holiday season approaching. It's very easy to get caught up in our material appetites. You know, that turkey, stuffing, gravy, all that stuff. I don't eat that, I'm vegetarian, but still, it's a time of feasting. It's also a time for shopping. It's time for a lot of material pleasures. There's nothing wrong with that, but we don't want to be enslaved to it, okay? So we want to maintain how do I want to say it? Our purity, okay? Or our coherence, our integrity with our spirituality or what our goals are. So we don't become hypocrites, which the Hierophant Pope can certainly be, okay? And wind up being enslaved by what we think is reason, but is actually just our lust for material things. Okay, as usual, I also pull up 2 minor arcana cards to kind of give some more practical advice or perspective on the reading. And the 2 cards that I drew for this week are the 4 of Wands and the Ace of Coins or Pentacles. Now what's striking here is the wands are going like seemingly in different directions. Yes, there's balance there, okay? There is balance. But also they're going in different directions, so there's a potential there for some scattering. The Ace of Coins is a single focused object from which growth is coming. So it's maintaining that singular focus. It's keeping it simple. It's taking it from 4 things down to 1, okay? Simplifying, getting down to the core, and focusing on what is important. So I hope you enjoy yourself this week. I think we will. I think it's going to be a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope you enjoy it thoroughly. Just keep things in perspective. That's all we're saying. Okay, let's look at some astrology. Now, there are some interesting things. Now, for once, okay, it's been a few weeks. You know, we've been pretty slack with the astrology, but now it's cooking along. There's some stuff happening, okay? For one thing, we are going to have the Sun entering Sagittarius on Tuesday. That's right, 2 days from now, this is all this week, 2 days from now, the 21st, the Sun enters Sagittarius. Then, on Wednesday, Neptune is going to go direct. It's been in retrograde for a while. It is going to go out of retrograde and into direct. Now, what that means, Neptune is basically a planet of our higher intuition, mediumship, some very, very higher vibrational spirituality. Okay? So, I don't really see it as a higher octave of Venus. Some people say that. I'm a traditional astrologer, Renaissance type astrologer, so to me the outer planets like Neptune, Pluto, if you want to call that a planet, Uranus, these are more like fixed stars, okay? But they do have effects upon us, and Neptune going direct might make it easier for some of us to connect psychically. It may facilitate some mediumship, anything of that nature, getting through the veil. Of course, the veil is thin anyhow, okay? This time of the year, especially a little bit earlier, November, when the sun goes 15 degrees Scorpio, that's the true thinning of the veils. That's the true Samhain, okay? But we're at that time of year where the veils get thin, and with Neptune going direct, that may add some oomph to that, okay? Now, another cool thing, too, is Thursday. I think it was Thursday evening. I think it's 7:05 p.m. if I remember correctly. Yeah, 7:05 p.m. The Sun is going to sextile Jupiter. That is on Thursday, on Thanksgiving. That's on Jupiter's day. So if you want to do like an abundance spell, ritual, meditation, whatever, that would be a good time to do it that evening when we have that good aspect with the moon. That's going to be very powerful. And then on Saturday, in the evening, like 9:37 p.m., these are Eastern Standard Time, by the way. Sorry, Eastern Standard Time, Florida time, my time, all right? The moon is going to sextile Saturn. Now, Saturn does not just oppress us, Saturn teaches us. Yes, it limits us, but it does so in such a way that we learn lessons, so ultimately we want to grow. So if you want to perhaps attract more higher knowledge, okay, or be better able to handle responsibility. Remember, moon is waxing. It's getting stronger. We just had new moon. So this is not a time to get rid of stuff. This would be trying to attract the positive, beneficial, structural aspects of Saturn, okay? It's not a time to try to banish. If you're not comfortable with Saturn, don't mess with it. But if you want to go for some higher learning, some higher understanding responsibilities and accepting them, you know, or dealing with problems with older people, health issues, or if you have chronic health issues, this might be a good time to work that sort of a ritual, just so you know. Okay, well, there you go. We've had our weekly tarot reading, our weekly astrology info. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy doing it. I thank you so much for your support, and until I see you next week, many, many blessings.